Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live from our studios here at Kukumlemle. It's Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live on Love 99.5 FM, an affiliate across Ghana's 16 regions, including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takrady, Jata FM in Karaga, and Kekeli Radio in Ho. Our global audience, please download the My Joy Online app from Play Store and App Store to listen live around the world. In this edition, minority spokesperson on employment and social welfare raises red flags over the December 1 deadline handed public sector workers to get their Ghana cards or risk losing their salaries. We'll speak to him live. Also, chairperson of the Electoral Commission says the December 2020 election was transparent, credible, peaceful, and cost-effective.
So orderly, so methodical, so calm were the polls on the 7th of December 2020 that BBC could find no other way to describe our elections than boring.
More from an ongoing ECOWAS meeting in Winneba. Minority in Parliament initiative pushes for review of the 1992 Constitution. But what are the key drivers of this move?
There are those who are convinced about decoupling ministers from being members of Parliament. There are those who believe in the establishment of the Independence Involvement Committee.
President Akufo-Addo, meanwhile, says the matter is out of his hands.
I don't believe that the Constitution is the work of the President of the Republic. For the President to decide in the comfort of his study that he is satisfied that there must be a review of the Constitution.
And later also, we ask, is the diplomatic
cannot be threatened in our homes. This must be stated loud and clear.
We also have sports.
And what is the most important thing in the game of football? Well, Black Stars coach Milovan Rival has got the answer, and I will share that with you in the next 20 minutes.
And you want to stay for that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for your company. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. This afternoon, minority spokesperson on employment and social welfare, Dr. Kwabena Donko, is raising red flags over the December 1 deadline handed public sector workers to get their Ghana cards or risk losing their salaries. The Controller and Accountant General's office in a statement says it is currently harmonizing its systems to ensure speedy administration of government's payroll. Now, this comes at a time where many Ghanaians are already working around the clock to get Ghana cards to register their mobile SIM. My Dr. Donko has joined us, thankfully, on the phone. He thinks that the timeline for these workers too short. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News, sir. So you seem not to agree that if this is an effective means of checking.
Anxious to clean up the payroll to eliminate payroll fraud and to make the payroll administration far more effective and efficient than it has been. There is no dispute about that has been the goal of government, past and present, and I believe it's a laudable goal. However, in terms of implementation, the average Ghanaian worker on the controller's payroll has a contract of employment. That contract of employment does not involve the production of a Ghana card. And therefore, if administratively we found out that using the Ghana card can help us prevent fraud, which nobody in Ghana wants, if it can help us administer the payroll more efficiently, which we all want, that is a good thing. However, the methodology must also serve the interests of workers. Do all workers have Ghana card now? For those who don't, they now have to go and pay above 200 to obtain a Ghana card. That is fine. But look at the short-term diktat. This is a total diktat given within a 3-week period. And I believe it is unfair, the employee's period. And therefore, the Controller and Accountant General must leave some of these things, the engagement to elected officials. There is the Minister for Employment, there is the Minister for Finance. Let them engage with organized labor. Let them sensitize the population as to the need for this, and then we roll out implementation. But you don't issue a diktat and think because you are the controlling accountant general, everybody must bow to your wish, even if that wish has a time period that is unreasonable.
Is it the case that you've heard from these public sector workers and that they're raising this concerns that they are unable to get this Ghana card, or is your view that there should be an extension of the deadline, or what exactly should it be?
That deadline is a misnomer. It's a poor start. Let the Minister for Employment, the Minister for Finance, and other elected officials, let them engage organized labor. Let them engage other trade union representatives. Let them engage the general public. Sensitize us in sufficient time. I've spoken to a number of workers as we speak, and a number of workers have told me the time is just too short. Some of them don't have the Ghana card. Remember, getting the Ghana card when it was launched was not easy. There were a lot of headers. Joy News reported on some of the challenges then. So we are rolling out the Ghana card again, but under a different regime, where you now have to pay for it. So let's be sensitive to the needs of workers. Yes, the objective of eliminating payroll fraud is a national objective. We all subscribe to it. But how do we do it? So the Controller and Accountant General should, since it's an agent of government, that whole department is an agency. There are elected officials. Let he and his superiors, who are the elected officials, engage and sensitize the Ghanaian public a bit more.
Okay, we're grateful. That's a minority spokesperson on employment and social welfare, Dr. Kwabena Donko there. We'll stay on issues relating to the Ghana card because barring any hitches, members of the public who may need to visit a National Identification Authority office to register for the Ghana card will not have to travel the long journey to these particular offices. We are told that officials of the NIA say they will establish offices in all 275 districts and 16 regions by end of October. It follows these complaints that we are getting from members of the public of long queues at their limited registration centres. We can hear from Abdul Ganiyu, head of the Corporate Affairs Department at the NIA.
This same card registration process for a period of 6 months. There's no need to panic. The requirement for the same card registration is the Ghana card, yes. And the NIA has assured that by end of October, every district in Ghana will have an NIA office.
Many have also been calling out to the authority to scrap the fees associated with the registration. He has responses to that.
Until there's an amendment to the law. And there should also be the appreciation that this project has a revenue model and the premium registration and the fees that are charged are in line with that particular model.
That's Abdul Ganiyu, head of Corporate Affairs Department at the National Identification Authority. Now, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jean Mensah, says the December 2020 election was transparent, credible, peaceful, and cost-effective. According to her, the outcome which saw President Akufo-Addo retain power proves that elections can be peaceful on the African continent. Addressing the ongoing ECOWAS Parliament Forum in Ghana, Jean Mensah says despite the scourge of COVID-19, the EC was able to discharge its responsibilities.
I humbly refer to Ghana's 2020 elections as historic for the transparency, the credibility, the cost-effectiveness, the high turnout, and the peaceful conduct that characterized it. So orderly, so methodical, so calm were the polls on the 7th of December 2020 that BBC could find no other way to describe our elections than boring. We refer to them as historic also because all our electoral processes and the election itself were conducted in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic without the spread of the virus. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that I'm supposed to be giving a goodwill message, but please permit me to highlight a few of the successes of Ghana's 2020 election. We proved that elections in our sub-region can be run efficiently. in spite of the odds and challenges. Indeed, the global COVID-19 pandemic caused a major disruption to our election timetable as a result of the uncertainty and the fact that the suppliers of our electoral materials were unable to meet our procurement schedule owing to the global lockdown. As a result, it was only 6 months to our elections that we were able to commence our electoral processes. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, within that short space of time, we completed every electoral process, including introducing and deploying a new biometric voter management system comprising hardware and software, and preparing a new biometric register.
That's EC Chairperson, Madam Jean Mensah. Presidential correspondent Elton Brobe has been monitoring that ECOWAS meeting currently ongoing in Winneba and joins us via phone. Elton, did Madam Jean Mensah also touch on the election petition?
Not much, because he had a limited number to give some sort of solidarity message. She focused her speech on what they did before the 2020 election, and in her own conclusion, the election came up as the most credible, transparent, and cost-effective.
Well, President Akufo-Addo has also been speaking. Bring us up to speed on it.
So it is very interesting to see that this particular forum, which is ongoing in Ghana, will also start the process where member states will have to elect their representatives to the ECOWAS Parliament, which is in Abuja. And the Parliament's main task is to work towards the adoption of the ECOWAS budget, the enactment of core community as relating to ECOWAS economic and monetary integration policies. For President Akufo-Addo, he is against any form of military takeover on the continent. And for him, electing through the ballot box is the surest way to guarantee economic growth on the continent.
Elections, to use a much-worked phrase, free and fair elections, remain the bedrock of any genuine democracy. And the running of credible elections poses a big challenge to many democracies, including ours in West Africa. In reality, elections the world over are moments of considerable tension, uncertainty, and anxiety for all. In most regions, such uncertainties usually disappear once election results are declared and the citizenry move on with their lives.
President Akufo-Addo, they are stay a while longer on politics because Joy News can exclusively report that the minority in Parliament has put together a motion demanding immediate steps to review the 1992 Constitution. The motion, expected to be moved when the House reconvenes at the end of the month, will among others call for a bipartisan approach. So the last review of the Constitution was in 2020 during the late President Mills era, but the outcome of that review was never implemented. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu has been speaking to my colleague Elton Brobe.
Is for the national interest to reign supreme and not partisan interest. So this is an opportune moment for Ghana to review thoroughly the 1992 Constitution. So I look forward to the coming days of a presidential review commission on the work that was done under President J.E.A. Mills, so that this is the time that we should embark on the needed constitutional reforms. We stand together in terms of parity of numbers and strength, and this is where we can do meaningful adjustment to the 1992 Constitution to serve the people of Ghana. Of Parliament, there are those who believe in the establishment of the Independence Involvement Committee. I just think that primarily, unless President Nana Addo Dankwa has some fundamental disagreement, he should respect the white paper that President Mills issued as President of Ghana on the Constitutional Review report, or further review it and improve upon it. And the election of MMDC
was in 2010 and not 2020. While speaking to members of the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition in August, President Akufo-Addo said the presidency cannot initiate the review process. He's also unconvinced about a wholesale review of the Constitution.
I don't believe that the Constitution is the work of the President of the Republic. For the President to decide in in the comfort of his study that he's satisfied that there must be a review of the Constitution, and that by that process engage the process of constitutional review. And if anything else at all, it should be at the very least the Parliament of the Republic at any one given time that will stand forward to say that these are matters which we think should engage the public attention so that there can be a collective. But for the president to say he's satisfied that there ought to be a review and therefore engage the process, I thought it was flawed. I said it to the Constitutional Review Committee. To have a republic that has lasted nearly 30 years in the context of our history, to change the constitutional arrangements that have assisted this durability, we should be very careful how we go about it.
President Ekofado, so we know that the proposed review, if pushed through a private member's motion, may not stand because of the financial implications it may pose on the state. So what form must it take? Convener of the Fix the Country movement, Oliver Bakavomawo, has some suggestions.
Because, of course, if it necessitates a referendum, would obviously say it imposes a charge on the consolidated fund. It will not go. But it is that it has to pass through the Business Committee of Parliament for them to accept to even put it on the agenda. So the time it would take to even consider 200 amendments of Constitution would be forever and ever happen. That's one thing. Secondly, we have to remember that a piecemeal amendment process is not pro-poor. What I mean is that it's only persons with some proximity to political elite who can get a bill they have drafted considered by those in Parliament for them. So a larger majority of people may want a particular thing, but it would never get any uptake because they don't have the kind of friendships and the networks to compel politicians to do something in the people's interest. So that piecemeal process would be forever. It would never happen.
That's convener of the Fix the Country movement, Oliver Vomawo.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
And it's time for our Drive Safe campaign. And in 8 months alone, 2,000 persons have been crushed to death on Ghana's road, triggering a review of road traffic regulations to impose stiffer sanctions to offenders. A national consultative forum currently underway in Accra will review the road traffic regulations 2012 LI 2180 to improve road safety as well as security. The road traffic regulations was passed by Parliament in July 2012 to give effect to the Enforcement of Road Traffic Act 2004. To date, significant provisions of the regulations have been implemented and enforcement is ongoing, while some of the provisions are also yet to be implemented due to identified technical and legal deficiencies associated with them. Before I take you to that consultative forum, my colleague Joseph Akable has the statistics of crashes this year alone. Joseph, run us through the figures.
Per the data released by the Ghana Police Service, 2,167 vehicles were involved in several road crashes, which resulted in 253 persons losing their lives, while a whopping 1,315 persons got injured. Now, if you zero in on motorcycle crashes, we are looking at 98 persons who were killed, with 356 others being injured. Let me also walk you through the figures for the period from January to September. In total, 2,126 persons have been killed in road crashes in this period, with over 11,000 injuries. Further checks reveal 607 pedestrians have been knocked down and killed within this period. It is sad to note that motorcycle crashes alone have killed more than 900 individuals, representing over 42% of the total number of deaths recorded between January and September. So it's a major issue of concern still.
Thank you very much, Joseph, with that statistics, worrying figures there. I'll take you now to that National Consultative Forum currently underway to possibly impose stiffer sanctions and, of course, review the road traffic regulations 2012 LI 2180. My colleague Michael Ashale is there for us and joins us with details. Michael, what has come up?
So the Minister for Transport has been speaking. And he's making quite a number of things. So first of all, he admits the challenges in trying to fix the huge gap that we have. And talking about the gap, he's talking about the spate of crashes that we are observing across the country. And the latest numbers point to over 2,000 people losing their lives and involving about 20,000 vehicles and 11,000 crashes. So he's been talking about that essentially. He said that new regulation of the review is necessitated so that we conform to international regulations, and again to make it more difficult for people who decide to break the law to continue to do that. Just before I came out, there was a contention about the part of the driver having to produce his license. So the conversation is going on in earnest. And in that particular conversation, some of the stakeholders of the firm believe that because of the sort of harassment that they get from the police, it is why most of the drivers, particularly on the road, refuse to hand out their driver's license, because sometimes it is used against them, or sometimes to hold them so that they don't get to be on the road.
That's my colleague Michael Papani Ashale there, reporting from that National Consultative Forum as part of our Drive Safe campaign. Well, in a related development, the Ashanti Regional Boss of the DVLA is calling for stiffer punishment for drivers whose inactions lead to the loss of lives on our roads. Erastus Asaridonko has more.
Despite a major campaign spearheaded by the Multimedia Group in collaboration with various stakeholders in road safety, carnages continue. Ashanti Regional Boss of the DVLA, Amos Abaka, believes this is because many drivers have been allowed to get away with murder on the road.
They don't suffer the penalty for their actions, so they would continue to repeat it. I think we should ramp up enforcement. People must feel the heat that their action endangers to force them to comply. We've left things for far too long.
That's the DVLA boss, Amos Abaka, DVLA boss for the Ashanti region. They're interacting with my colleague, Erastus Asaridonko. We'll take a quick breather here on the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll be hearing from the minority spokesperson on employment and social welfare, raising red flags over the December 1 deadline handed public sector workers to get their Ghana cards or risk losing their salaries. Jean Mensah, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, says the December 2020 election was transparent, credible, peaceful and cost-effective. When we return from the break, we ask, is the diplomatic community in Ghana cracking the whip on Ghanaian MPs pushing the anti-gay bill?
And all those threatening the members of parliament who are leading this bill, please be warned. We cannot be threatened in our homes. This must be stated loud and clear.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aplao. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Kofrodia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sonmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrots FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
Thanks for choosing the best. Let's do sports. Buftana Bila.
And Black Stars head coach Milovan Rajvat has defended the performance of the team against Zimbabwe. Despite winning 1-0 against the Warriors, many are unhappy with the output of his team. But Milo insists the most important thing in the game of football is a win.
Yeah, this was a very tough match, as I said in the beginning, and it's a competitive match. So both teams were competitive today, and maybe we didn't see some beautiful football today, but you know, at some situations you just have to play for the result, and the result is the most important in the end. So. And the very short period between the two matches, you know, and the tiredness and fatigue of the players and other problems. So I'm just happy we managed to, because result is in the...
And that is Milovan Rajvat insisting that the one-goal project matters.
As long as we win, we're okay. Thank you very much, Muftau Nabila. Now, it is imagined that some members of Ghana's parliament behind the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2021 may be at the receiving end of alleged diplomatic sanctions being deployed by some Western nations promoting homosexuality rights. The anti-gay bill, sponsored by 8 MPs, has sharply divided public opinion, with sections of the diplomatic community being accused of threatening those pushing the bill with visa sanctions. There's more in this News Desk report.
When I was growing up, nobody talked about homosexuality. Everyone who was gay suffered enormous discrimination. I hope that within the next decade or so that every Ghanaian, regardless of sexual orientation, will enjoy the same rights and be treated the same.
Those are the words of the immediate past U.S. ambassador to Ghana, championing homosexuality rights as a key foreign policy issue 3 years ago. The Australian High Commissioner, Gregory Andrews, sought audience with the Speaker of Parliament to push the agenda.
For Australia, we would really encourage Ghana's Parliament not to pass legislation that would discriminate against the LGBT community or remove their human rights, or to ban or make it illegal for people to advocate for their human rights. We would find that disappointing.
But this was shot down.
We cannot be threatened in our homes. This must be stated loud and clear to those who have come to do business in Ghana, those who represent their countries and think that they are right. They can never dictate to us as to how to live or not to live in this world. The Parliament of Ghana will pass this bill.
In fact, after an altercation at the Accra Sports Stadium with anti-gay bill sponsor and Ningo Prampram legislator Sam George, the Australian representative is alleged to have threatened the MP with visa restrictions.
He came and accosted me and threatened me that I would never get a visa to any European country. Then I said to him, well, he's in Ghana and I will not be threatened.
Well, it is emerging that these threats are allegedly being actualized as sources say MPs already risk bearing the brunt of the angry Western powers by way of visa denials. A senior member of the governing NPP, Dr. Arthur Kennedy, is on record to have alluded to this already having happened in writing. But Minister of Parliamentary Business and Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu, who says he is yet to be informed about these threats, insists it would be a futile exercise.
If Parliament decides, all of us decides, that this should be the way, and the world is saying that, well, we are against Ghana for this, then all of us are going to have to suffer for it.
And that's the News Desk report. This afternoon, the Clean Ghana team is at the main Circle Lorry station, which serves as a transit point for thousands of people, which has no functioning toilet facility. Passengers are forced to use a makeshift urinal at a fee. The team was there. You can listen to Joseph Asetanga, head of the AMA's Environmental Health Unit.
If you don't know the person who's running the urinal here, then we'll close the place and all of you should get out. We lock it out. Count and carry your money out. Take all your money out. These are urinals both for gents and then ladies. The stench that is coming out from here is so unbearable, and they take 20 pesos upon urinal. Any individual who come in to urinate here, 20 pesos. Let's multiply the population per day, per the transit of passengers here. That you sit here to take money, and you cannot use and keep this place tidy. And you expect us to allow you to continue operating this urinal.
Keep your environment clean. It's time for what's trending on social media. Mapitso, what do we have?
Emefa hashtag No Bra Day is trending. Let's take some tweets at _Sharif, who says the purpose of hashtag No Bra Day is to create breast cancer awareness. Let's not shift the focus, dear queens, and get checked today. Finest Tweep says today being celebrated as hashtag No Bra Day is for cancer awareness. So don't abuse the health awareness campaign to literally begin sharing and posting your naked photos. And the last one is from Jessie39, who says to all the ladies fighting breast cancer, may God see you through hashtag No Bra Day. Emefa Apawu In fact, you know what? We'll have this conversation later. Meet me. Yeah.
But you're wearing your bra. Go and take it
I
off.
said we'll have the
And
conversation
that's it
later.
for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Stories making the headlines. Man kills friend. He saw dating fiancé and dream two others at Kwabre, Wawase. And government workers without Ghana card won't be paid from December 1. We've been hearing from the minority spokesperson on labor and employment on this. I am Emefa, Apawu, and Living Word with Pastor Mensel Tabil is up next. Self-government. Have a good afternoon.